All right, so good morning, everyone. The videos that were playing when you entered were in the hall earlier were a glimpse into some of the educational activities and events in Merced County with a focus on early education. That is the focus of this year's annual education report. And all of those videos were filmed and produced by Merced Educational Television, or MeTV, which I'm sure most of you know. So let's give them a round of applause. And those of you that were at the State of the City last week, I think Mayor Murphy and his staff did a great job. I stole the idea of the 2.5-minute countdown from them, so it worked pretty well. I'm Nathan Cavedo. I'm the Media and Communications Manager for the Merced County Office of Education. On behalf of the Merced County Superintendent of Schools and the Merced County Board of Education, thank you for joining us here today at our 7th Annual Education Report. I'd like to recognize Yosemite Church for hosting this event and Joe on the Go for catering the lunch today. We have quite an agenda, so I'm going to get right to it, but if I could ask you all, let's give them a round of applause. And again, if you could please silence your cell phones throughout the event. Could you now please stand as I introduce from the United States Marine Corps, Sergeant Gloria and Sergeant Ingraham, and they'll lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. You may be seated. So thanks to the Marine Corps. We really do appreciate them taking time out of their day to come and do that flag salute for us. And thank you all for coming out to learn more about county schools. And again, our focus this year is early education. Making these annual reports every year, we have a different focus. It's been special ed, career technical education, and technology in the classroom. This year's focus is early education, which MCOE has quite a bit to do with, as you'll learn in today's report. Now I'd like to invite to the stage Merced County Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Steve Tietjen.
Thank you, Nathan, and welcome everyone. Nathan, weren't you going to take the seat at the drum kit to make sure they know when I tell the joke? No, not? Okay. So this morning, is not what I expected. I think it's not what any of us expected, because we heard news again that we don't want to hear. How about if we join together in just a moment of silence as we grieve for the students and staff in Parkland, Florida. Thank you. I want you all to know that superintendents here in Merced County are doing everything they can do to prevent these kinds of tragedies from happening here. We know that many factors have to be considered when we develop prevention plans for this kind of violence. Those prevention plans include vigilance, ongoing vigilance at our schools, a law enforcement presence on our campuses, moving towards restorative justice programs and our discipline programs, and making sure that we have mental health professionals that can support students and staff when needed, who have really lived with trauma in their lives and bring that trauma to school with them. Treating students with respect while they're under our supervision and care is a key. And we need to make sure that we educate students, to the real damage that gun violence can do. I've already been on the phone with Sheriff Warnke this morning, talking about what he sees as potential preventative tips, and I know that your district superintendents are in touch with the law enforcement and their communities and doing everything they can to maintain the safety of our children and staff while they're under our care in our schools, and will of course continue to do that. Those of you that have young children and wonder how about what we can do when we talk with those kids, the first thing to do is always reaffirm safety, that they're safe when they're with you. Make time to talk about these issues in a developmental way, in a way that they can understand, not over-explaining or dumbing things down when it doesn't need to be. And of course, reviewing safety procedures and having code words, keywords at your home to know where to go, where to meet, when these kinds of tragedies occur. So with that being said, let's move ahead and focus on the good things that are happening in Merced County. So once again, good morning and welcome to our 7th annual report on schools. It's great to see such a good turnout, and I want to thank you all again for taking times from your busy schedules. You could have been many other places today, but you're here, so thank you for being here. I'd also like to take a moment to recognize our elected officials that are with us, and I have a list, and hopefully I'll make sure I spot everybody in the crowd. Representing Congressman Jim Costa's office, Dominic Farina. Dominic. Also, you know, they take forever if we clap for everybody. So let me get through them all and we'll give them all a round of applause. Louise Farley representing Senator Anthony Cannella and Ryan Heller representing Adam Gray. Okay. Stepping over the county boundary lines, Madera Supervisor Robert L. Poitras. So Robert, welcome. Merced County elected officials, Barbara Levy is here, our assessor clerk recorder. Our supervisor from District 3, Darren McDaniel, is here. And our CEO, Jim Brown, was going to be here too. So let's give them a round of applause, folks from county. Merced City elected officials planning to be here were Mayor Mike Murphy and Steve Kerrigan, but I only have a confirmation at this point from Anthony Martinez from Council District 1. Anthony, thank you for being here. Also from school board members, school boards across the county, from MCOE, Dennis Hanks, from Merced College, Leonel Villarreal, from Atwater, Mark Hendrickson and Larry Whitney, from McSwain, Joe Hofer and Luis Lara are here. From Merced City School District, Mike Crass, Jessica Kazakos, Emily Langdon, and Miguel Lopez. From Merced High School District, Richard Lopez, John Medeiros was going to join us, and Julio Valadez will be here. Let's give all those board members a round of applause. District leaders include College President for Merced College, Chris Vitale. Chris, welcome. From our school districts, Dr. Sandra Scheiber from Atwater, Andres Zamora from Livingston, Dr. Rosemary Parga Duran from Merced City, Richard Lopez from Merced River School District, Alan Peterson from Merced High, and Jose Gonzalez from Planada. And I'm sure I've missed someone, and the lights are really bright in my eyes, so I apologize. Oh, Randy Heller, I see over there. Randy, thank you for coming out today. Anyone else? Wave at me. Okay. So while this report gives an overview of what's happening in Merced County schools, it also highlights this year the youngest children we serve and shows how a high-quality early education program can make an enormous difference in a student's life. But before we get to the report, I'd like to introduce our entertainment for today's luncheon. Students from Stone Ridge Christian Preschool are here with us today with their teachers Deanna Bridges, Esmeralda DeFalco, and Marissa Brazil. Let's enjoy the students as they perform Everyone Shake a Hand and Rise and Shine. Students.
Smile and wink, smile and wink, everybody.
Well, thanks again to our preschool students from Stone Ridge Christian School for that stellar performance. One more round of applause while they exit. I find it absolutely stunning to see what teachers of preschoolers can get out of them. I have a hard time getting my 2-year-old grandchildren to sit in my lap for 2 minutes. My daughter says it has something to do with the sugar that I might be giving them at the same time. I missed a couple names. Let me track back a little bit. We've got a couple other people here I want to recognize from UC Merced. Dr. Charles Neese is here. Charles, thank you for being here. And several administrators from across the districts, from Merced Union High School District, Constantino Aguilera and Ralph Calderon are here too. So thank you for being here. So before we begin with the full review of our annual publication, I want to acknowledge the support that public schools have received during the past few years here in California. The governor has fulfilled his promise to restore previous funding to our schools in this coming year's budget. Those funds were lost, of course, as we all recall, during the Great Recession. He's also done something else. He's restored local control through the local budgeting process, which is where it should be and where it needs to remain. That's in question with an incoming governor on the horizon. And we as advocates for public education need to be sure that we continue to advocate for that key local control. Our report this year puts a spotlight on the diversity of students that make up Merced County and the many partnerships and programs that MCOE has with school districts, colleges and universities, and other public and private organizations. As you can see in slide 1, Merced County has 20 school districts with their own boards of education and superintendents. When people ask me about why the need for 20 school districts in our county and more than 1,000 in the state, I remind them that school boards are often the only elected body in small rural communities. And the school board election represents the most direct form of representation in our democracy. Many communities, including some here in Merced County, only have an elected school board to represent them, with no formal city council or other locally elected group. The public school is still the place where we teach our children what it means to be citizens. And that is why it is so important to continue to have a locally elected school board that is responsive to the values and aspirations of its community. Before we go further into the report, I'd like to mention what I see as the characteristics of our programs at Merced County Office of Education and across the county that makes Merced County truly a great place to be raising children in 2018. The Merced County Office of Education is unique from other county offices. In many of its ways, it has an ability to impact the community. See here in slide 2, the Virginia Smith Trust, which is poised to build a scholarship fund that gives $80,000 a year to a scholarship fund that gives $400,000 to $500,000 a year in 5 years to $1 million in the next 10 years, is poised to do that because we've planted 500 acres in almonds, and we're working with the city of Merced on an annexation plan to develop a planned community just south of the University of California, Merced. You've all been to universities that have had great planning and great student-serving communities that are near them. And you've probably been to some that haven't had that kind of planning opportunity. And so we really want to see this planned well so that the university community is served well through the VST land, as well as the greater community of Merced County. Camp Green Meadows, also unique to county offices, is our unique 6th grade outdoor education experience offered to all children here in Merced County. We are modernizing and rebuilding to ensure that this experience is available to students for another 50 years in Merced County. We've been talking about our project plans for the last several years, and we've got happening this summer a big renovation to the underground infrastructure, otherwise known as the sewer system. And we're grateful to a local firm, Provost and Pritchard, who's helped us reduce the cost on that from over $1 million to about $500,000 through the use of modern technology. We're excited by that. And we're glad to have another local partner. We're also planning a nurses station that will be built, we think now, with help from the Forest Service's Planning Department by the summer of 2019. That always rolls out a little bit further every time we meet with them, but we're still hoping to have it done by 2019. Slide 4 is our newest initiative of working with community partners to build a strong literacy base here in Merced County by providing little lending libraries in remote parts of the county so that all children have access to engaging printed text. These kinds of programs are what makes Merced County a great place to raise children. And I think that we have the students that built the first of the little lending libraries that was installed out in Plana with us today. Students, are you here? Let's give them a round of applause for their work. If you take a look at the demographic profile on page 6 of the report, you can see the wide range of enrollments in our districts and the percentage of English learners being served in our schools here in Merced County. Merced Union High School District, with just over 8% of its student population as English learners, has the smallest percentage of EL students in the county, while El Nido has the highest percentage of students, with nearly 70% of their students in their school district as English learners. I always caution folks, when you look at this percentage data, make sure you take a look behind percentages and understand the numbers. So 8% of Merced Union High School District is 880 students. 70% of El Nido is about 111 students. So as you go look at the data website, casschooldashboard.org, make sure that you understand what those numbers really reflect. Slide 6 is another of the areas that we should point out in this report. It's found on page 4. Of our 7 high school districts in the county, all of them, that's right, all of them, are achieving a graduation rate far above the state average. Graduation rates will continue to be an important indicator of school district performance now and in the future. To get more information about your school or district, visit the casschooldashboard.org website, and it's there on the screen. I don't think it's in your booklet, so if you want to visit that website, make a note of it now. And there you can look up how your schools or your districts are doing. Our countywide averages of students achieving at or above state standards continues to improve, but more work there needs to be done. You'll need to go to the website to see that data. This is the first year that we have comparison year-over-year data for school districts. Next year it will be one of the highlights of our report. What I can tell you is, given the percentage of English learners we have in Merced County, our scores for proficient and above in English language arts, and especially in 11th grade, is an indicator that our schools are succeeding in this area. Other academic areas continue to be a challenge, though. Chronic absences are one of the other challenges we must address if we're going to see our students attain high-quality employment and educational opportunities. The County Office of Education is expanding its professional development staff in order to serve and assist districts in these efforts. Most of you read about 2 other partnerships that we value highly. One with UC Merced and our district attorney's office, led by Vernette Doty, who's here from UC Merced. I saw Vernette somewhere in the audience. Vernette, wait. It's Project 10%. And what Project 10% is, if you haven't read about it, is an outreach program that's been developed by the County Office of Education, the district attorney's office, and volunteer students from UC Merced who go to junior high schools. And these students from UC Merced tell their stories to junior high school students so that junior high school students can see themselves as potential future college attendees. These UC students have had the same kinds of challenges our kids in Merced County have had. Homes of poverty, second language learners, no other college graduates in their family. And they go tell our junior high kids these stories, and our junior high kids are inspired. And it's one of the reasons why I see this raise in our high school graduation requirement over the last several years. It's not quite at 10% yet, but it's above 5% since we've started this program. Another one of the programs you've probably read about in the newspapers is our partnership with the District Attorney's Office over attendance. Chronic absenteeism continues to be a problem, and it has a devastating effect on children, especially our youngest children. While articles about arresting parents appear in the paper, that's not our indicator of success. Our indicator of success for this program really is changing attendance patterns in our schools, and I'm happy to report that both of these partnerships are paying off. I'll be talking more about the kinds of things we're seeing in our first year of our truancy program with the DA at the Children's Summit on April 19th. If you'd like to hear more, stay tuned, come back to that meeting. Let's turn our attention to spotlight the topic that we really want to talk about today, and the importance of this topic cannot be overstated. As you can see in the next slide, I hope you can see, there are 25,000 children in Merced County that are aged birth to age 5. This slide points out the gap we have in available childcare in our county. You can see that many parents rely on family and friends to do the critical work of providing childcare for their young children. They need to go to work. If there isn't childcare, they're underemployed. If childcare is unaffordable, they're underemployed. It's clearly a factor of some of the economic challenges we have in our county. In order to get the word about our programs that support high-quality childcare, we are working now with many organizations. MCOE has partnered with KC24 and Univision to better educate the community on the importance of early learning and the opportunities that exist for childcare support. You've seen segments on Thursday afternoons, perhaps, showcasing early education program in Merced County, ranging from playgroups and best practices to information about finding affordable childcare. Let's take a look at a recent segment that features one of our partners, the All Dads Matter program, operated by the Merced County Human Services Agency. Let's take a look.
It's 1 part tortilla, 2 parts soy butter, 3 parts banana, and a splash of sprinkles to make a warm and memorable afternoon between these fathers and their kids. Being Nora and Emma's dad means everything to Joseph Leal.
For me, being a father was something that I've always wanted to do, and so you can kind of say I've waited my whole life for this, and I want to be in as much of it as I possibly can.
Quality time with the girls means the world to him.
What more important thing is there in life for your kids is to be a good father, right?
He finds himself singing and chanting along with dozens of other men and their children in one of the many events included in Merced County's All Dads Matter program.
We're going to do some wheat peanut butter, wheat tortillas with some soy butter and some bananas and some granola and roll it up and be sushi chefs for a day. For one, it creates an environment of fun and modeling to dads how to be silly and have fun with their children.
Program coordinator Lamar Henderson says this unique program, funded by the Merced County Human Services Agency, offers encouragement, support, and education to father figures, which will in return provide healthy family relationships.
I think it's important to expand those traditional roles of a father as being a provider and kind of a disciplinarian and allow us to kind of freely be who we want to be. It's like men giving men permission to have that intimate, close relationship with their children.
Michelle Joseph with Merced Community College Child Development Services says memories like these will stay with children forever.
To be able to explore each other and be silly and have rough play and all of those wonderful things that a male role model and a father will bring to a child's life.
And Joseph wouldn't have it any other way.
My daughters are the biggest thing in my life right now. My daughters and my wife, they're everything to me. I couldn't see it I couldn't even see life without them now that I have them.
For more stories on early childhood education, visit yourcentralvalley.com. In Merced County, Christina Tatro, KC24, local news that matters.
And let's give one of our stars of that production a hand. Lamar is here. Lamar, where are you? Shout out. Collaborative programs like this do wonders to capture parent involvement and reinforce for parents how important it is to be there for their children. So early education is a complex system and some of the concepts that I could talk about really are much better illustrated through video. The next video segment will provide an overview of the range of services for parents seeking early education services here in Merced County, those who provide those services, and college students who are getting hands-on experience with our youngest students. Let's take another look.
Merced County Office of Education's Early Education Department provides nearly 20 different programs that help family child care providers and center-based staff. In Merced County, we provide Head Start and Early Head Start services to nearly 1,200 children. The importance of high-quality early learning can't be overstated, and we take that very seriously here. We provide trainings throughout the county, and we focus on the importance of building relationships with young children. That important bond that adults have with young children is critical to their development. Research shows that a child's brain is nearly 80% developed by the time they're age 3. And what we know is that children in high-quality learning environments have the opportunity to really grow their brain, where those synapses continue to develop and build. The Early Education Department has many partnerships throughout Merced County. One of those partnerships is with Merced College Child Development Center, where our Early Head Start Child Care Partnership Program partners with their infant toddler classroom and provides comprehensive services to children, those families, and the staff that care for very young children.
Our facility is a teacher training facility for Merced College, where we have students who come and study children and their development while children are receiving preschool services from the ages of 3 months to 5 years old. We have 23 classified staff members and approximately 30 to 40 student workers that come in every week. Some of our best practices here at Merced College Child Development Center is the way in which we really work on responsive caregiving, making sure that all of the needs of all of our children are met in a very immediate fashion, as well as focusing on encouraging developmental levels in all domain areas. We have well-educated teachers who are employed here to be able to guide students in gaining those hands-on skills directly with children. Merced College students will graduate with an associate's degree in early childhood education, or they can transfer on to a 4-year university. Many of our students who come through here apply for positions right here at the Merced College Child Development Center, and we do employ them here at our facility.
While at Merced College, I am receiving my AA in early childhood education. A question I feel like I always get asked, I am interested in working with children just because I just have a passion and a love for it. There's sort of a connectedness that it's so much inexplainable, and then to watch them grow and just have those moments of what we call aha moments. It's like, oh, it clicks, they get it. They understand that this is used for this idea is used for this, and I can build on top of it. So just watching that progress and development is amazing to see firsthand. Early care and education is important because this is the foundation that develops your adolescents and your teenagers and your future adults in the society. If you want them to strive, getting them early on and being socially and emotionally regulated and prepared will make a vast difference in how much they learn. You can teach as much as you want, but if they're not socially, emotionally comfortable in their environment or can adapt to it, learning becomes difficult. Merced College provided me the opportunity to intern here at their Child Development Center. It has been the whole experience I'm expecting for the future.
High quality care and early learning are essential to addressing the school readiness gap. Research shows that children that are in high quality care and early learning environments are better prepared for success when they enter the K-12 system. In early education, we have the opportunity to really make a difference. We have the opportunity to help caregivers learn the importance of their role in developing those trusting relationships with children so that they're better prepared to enter school, ready to learn, ready to succeed.
And so with that, I'd like to introduce President Chris Vitelli, who's here to talk to us more about the program of Early Childhood Education Pathway at Merced College. President Vitelli.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you, Dr. Tietjen, and thank you, Merced County Office of Education, for bringing us all together. I don't know about you, but I think one of the major takeaways from this afternoon is just looking around the room, knowing that the community of Merced, we truly are partners in education. When you look around this room, when we introduce those that are leaders in this community in education and within our county, we truly all work together. We know each other, we know what we're striving for, and we're in it together. And so that's what makes today special. So thank you, Dr. Tietjen, for having us. We're honored to be one of many partners with Merced County Office of Education. I would like to introduce another star of the show today, Michelle Joseph. I believe she's here. Michelle, our director of the Merced College Child Development Center. Are any of our faculty here from the Child Development Center? I just don't want to skip over them. They really are also the heart of our program and our instructional program. I want to take a few moments to really highlight our teacher training facility where students learn and children grow, just like you heard in the video. Our Child Development Center sole purpose is to work on responsive caregiving, meeting the needs of all the children who walk into our classrooms and their specific learning needs, while we use it as a learning lab for our students to learn how to become professionals in early childhood education and childhood education. Merced College students graduate with an associate's degree in early childhood graduation, or early childhood, or transfer to a four-year university, and many obtain specializations and certificates. As I mentioned, as a Child Development Center learning lab and instructional program, we also provide internships for our students to learn how to provide high-quality care in early learning environments. We're pleased to be one of the educational leaders in child development within the Central Valley. More than 240 degrees have been given in childhood education and early childhood education in the past 5 years. And currently, we serve more than 8,000 students who are enrolled in at least one child development class at Merced College during the spring enrollment term. Within the last 5 years. And currently, close to 650 are enrolled in child development courses. And this afternoon, I want to highlight not only our partnerships, but our role in workforce development, as many of you are also vital partners in making sure that we source early childhood educators within our community, really transforming our community through early childhood education. The California Department of Social Services Community Care Licensing Division licenses the Merced College Child Development Center programs. Our center offers child care programs serving 3-month-olds through 5 years of age. We serve Merced College student parents by providing high-quality, comprehensive child care services while the parent attains a post-secondary educational degree, certificate, and/or training. And if you're familiar with the population we serve, you know that without quality child care services, our students wouldn't have the opportunity to obtain their higher education goals. Our primary funding source is the California Department of Education General Child Care and California State Preschool Program grants. These grants fund subsidized care for low-income families who have a qualifying need, whether it be education, employment, or vocational training. and they receive high-quality childcare for up to 6.5 hours a day, while providing a safe learning environment for their kids and a learning laboratory for our students, an educational program. We have many partnerships, many of which you've heard about already from Dr. Tietjen and through the video that we just watched. I'd like to highlight some of those for just a moment. As we just shared, we currently have a partnership with the Merced County Early Head Start program, in which we serve 32 toddlers and their families. The Early Head Start partnership allows families enrolled in this program access to additional support services in health, nutrition, disability, and mental health. Additionally, the family support services provider will work with each family to complete a family partnership agreement, set goals, and offer support and resources to help them obtain those goals. The Early Head Start partnership allows this educational opportunity to extend beyond the classroom, which makes the partnership even more meaningful for learning. With additional home visits, the families enrolled in this program receive in-home support and activities for their child. The initial home visit occurs before the child attends school. The teacher and parent observe the child's level of development in all domains: cognitive, physical, and social and emotional development during the visit through play-based activities. At the conclusion of the school year, and as a part of the program, home visits continue once per week for 1.5 hours. During this time, the teacher plays games, engages in activities, and gives the parent tips to work with the child. Again, this partnership also allows for essential learning for our students and better prepared graduates for the workforce. The Early Head Start Partnership Program, students receive much needed support as well, providing them with supplies such as diapers, wipes, and food accommodations, such as alternative milk substitutes with physician documentation. The program encourages support among parent networking, participation, and engagement in the program that allows parents to be their child's greatest advocate. With those partnerships also becomes the sourcing of our workforce in this community. The Child Development Center hires through our grant funds 8 to 11 student interns from the Early Ed program per academic year. We also employ 8 to 10 student parent mentors from any major throughout the college to run our Parent Cafe, which is a new program funded through our grants per year. I had the opportunity to sit down with 2 of our students, Natalie and Diana, and they shared how these programs are enriching, educational, and beneficial, not only to them as students with children within the Child Development Center, but also the opportunity to expand learning of childhood education among other students at Merced College. We're happy to collaborate with HSA to provide on-the-job funded training through the Merced County Welfare to Work program, the Merced County ROP program through the Merced County Office of Education, places students from the Career and Technical Education program at our facility each semester for on-the-job training for up to 16 hours per week. Some of those students come from the Merced County Empower program as well. And just recently, we discussed an opportunity for some collaboration between CSU Stanislaus Senior Internship Program for specialized on-the-job training. We have a student receiving on-the-job training at our facility through the Merced College Veterans Affairs Program and look forward to expanding the services we provide to those students. And lastly, we have a number of co-op education students receiving college units for completing hours at our facility and at facilities throughout Merced County. Bottom line is, we could not do what we do without our community partners. And through our partnerships, we're ensuring a quality and highly skilled workforce for this community in early childhood education. I'd like to leave you with this. In a news article not too long ago presented by the New York Times, Merced College made the news, and it was positive news. According to a nationwide study done by the New York Times on income mobility in 2017, the students who attended Merced College will have a significant increase in their lifetime earning potential. Merced College students were ranked number 83 out of 690 colleges. nearly the top 10% of all colleges nationally in terms of changes to their income. This is significant, not only because those in this room understand that education transforms lives, but education transforms our community. And according to the study, that the income of the parents of our students was 611 out of 788 colleges. So that shows you that our students going into Merced College have a lower income nationally than most students throughout the country. But by enrolling in a program, graduating with a certificate, with a degree, increases their income mobility tremendously. And it's because of our programs, such as the Child Development Program, that we change lives. And it's because of the partnerships we have in this community, such as the partnership with the Merced County Office of Education, that we collectively have a rippling effect on this community. And today's event is a wonderful example of how it is truly a community and a team effort. And on behalf of Merced College, it's my pleasure to applaud MCOE for making early childhood education today's focus, to highlight their quality programs and the partnerships we have in this community, and for the valued partnership for many years in the past and many years to come with Merced College on preparing tomorrow's early childhood educators. So thank you so much.
Thanks again, President Vitelli. What a great partnership we do have here, and opportunities in Merced County that we just sometimes take for granted, that we really have to recognize that it's a great place to live and raise children. So let's bring up a real expert in early childhood education, our Assistant Superintendent for Merced County Office of Education, Christy Hendricks.
And thank you to Chris and Merced College for providing that pipeline of educators, not just for early education, but for the K-12 system. Thank you. So I get to talk about early ed today, and that's always exciting for me. So thank you for being here. Evidence overwhelmingly demonstrates that positive experiences, even before birth, are critical to children's development, and that high-quality early learning provides young children with a foundation that enables healthy development and academic success. Research finds long-term benefits throughout school and beyond, including greater educational attainment and life success, especially for our dual language learners and children from low-income households. According to research from Nobel Prize-winning economist James Heckman, investing in early learning and care yields a return of nearly $13 for every $1 invested. That's a pretty big return on investment, wouldn't you say? Children who have had high-quality early learning experiences are also more likely to graduate from high school, and investing in the education of our youngest children is critical, and it puts those minds on the path of a promising lifelong learning and future success in the workplace and for the global economy at large. The experiences and interactions during the first years of a child's life are critical for brain development. And as you heard, the child's brain reaches 80% of its adult size by age 3, which is really amazing. And each new experience shapes that brain architecture that's essential for all future learning, behavior, and even health outcomes. When a child's brain doesn't receive positive interactions from a caring and nurturing adult, the brain's architecture gets pruned back and it doesn't develop to its fullest potential. So we're going to take a couple minutes and watch a video that demonstrates just how a child's brain develops.
A child's experiences during the earliest years of life have a lasting impact on the architecture of the developing brain. Genes provide the basic blueprint, but experiences shape the process that determines whether a child's brain will provide a strong or weak foundation for all future learning, behavior, and health. During this important period of brain development, billions of brain cells called neurons send electrical signals to communicate with each other. These connections form circuits that become the basic foundation of brain architecture. Circuits and connections proliferate at a rapid pace and are reinforced through repeated use. Our experiences and environment dictate which circuits and connections get more use. Connections that are used more grow stronger and more permanent. Meanwhile, connections that are used less fade away through a normal process called pruning. Well-used circuits create lightning-fast pathways for neural signals to travel across regions of the brain. Simple circuits form first, providing a foundation for more complex circuits to build on later. Through this process, neurons form strong circuits and connections for emotions, motor skills, behavioral control, logic, language, and memory during the early critical period of development. With repeated use, these circuits become more efficient and connect to other areas of the brain more rapidly. While they originate in specific areas of the brain, the circuits are interconnected. You can't have one type of skill without the others to support it. Like building a house, everything is connected, and what comes first forms a foundation for all that comes later.
So, as we know, toxic stress can damage that developing brain architecture, which can lead to those lifelong problems in learning, behavior, physical, and mental health. However, providing supportive, responsive relationships as early in life as possible can prevent or even reverse the damaging effects of toxic stress. So we have to remember that truly every moment matters. And we have a slide that's going to show us California's current early learning landscape, and it's comprised of a patchwork of programs with overlapping designs and purposes that are administered by multiple state and federal, as well as privately run child care centers and family child care homes. That landscape includes state preschools offered by many of our school districts, Community Action Agency, and Merced College. There are also licensed family child care businesses, which are run out of a provider's home, non-licensed family, friend, and neighbor care, which includes nannies and babysitters, and our own Head Start and Early Head Start program, which we operate through Merced County Office of Education. And then we have transitional kindergarten, which is offered at each school site throughout Merced County. And navigating the system can be tricky for parents and caregivers. However, the early education department's goal is to streamline and coordinate resources for families who are seeking childcare and early learning services. So please call our early education office and we can assist you in finding quality childcare both for yourself and for your employees. So consider this. The future success of every child is in many ways determined before he or she turns 8. And during those years, how that child learns and develops mentally, emotionally, and socially is critical. This isn't a theory, it's a fact, based on decades of research on the positive effects of quality early learning experiences on children's lives. It's no wonder then that educators, politicians, researchers, and families have really honed in on early childhood education as a means to invest not only in the future of America, but also to help deter and improve a number of complex social issues. But despite our ever-increasing understanding of the benefits of early learning, as well as negative repercussions of neglecting it, high-quality early education programs are not mandated. And that means that they're expensive and they're often out of the reach of most families. So how can we expand and improve access to early childhood education? Well, we can start by learning more about the importance of those early years, and I hope that today's focus on early learning and care has really spiked your interest and understanding of the importance of making every moment matter for our youngest children. So I'm going to leave you with the question: what role do you play in preparing our future workforce? Thank you. And then it's my pleasure to introduce our 2017 Educator of the Year, Carrie O'Bara, who teaches transitional kindergarten at Atwater Elementary School District.
Oh, thank you. Hello. Okay. This is not normally my role, so bear with me. It is an honor to be asked to speak to you about early childhood education, which is a subject that's dear to my heart. I'm sorry. No, I'm fine. Okay, I could do this. I've been a teacher for 34 years. I don't know why it's getting to me today. And most of that time, sorry, okay. 34 years, most of that has been in kindergarten and most recently in transitional kindergarten. Every day is filled with opportunities to make a difference in a child's life. These positive experiences with school in the early years can set the tone for promoting positive attitudes about school and learning. This is also one of my favorite reasons for being an early childhood educator. I can literally create learning opportunities that are developmentally appropriate, fun, engaging, so that children actually want to come to school. I can also encourage parents to be part of the child's education and feel valued in their role. We don't get back a first impression, so let's make it positive. I believe that a strong early childhood education is literally the foundation upon which a child will build their future in education. Early childhood education is not as simple as ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. Early education carries all the complexities of working with and meeting the needs of a diverse and ever-changing population. It is not easy, but it matters. It matters to the children, it matters to their families, and most of all, it matters to our society. Luckily, we have many talented professionals in Merced County that understand early childhood development and are equipped for this challenge. We are ready and excited to provide learning experiences that educate the whole child. Early childhood educators create learning opportunities in a variety of areas: social emotional growth, oral language development, fine motor skills, gross motor skills, language arts, math, science, technology, music, art, to name just a few. We use age and developmental stage charts to monitor student growth and progress, which enables us to provide individualized instruction for all students. Understanding childhood development is really the key to implementing a strong early childhood education program. We have the talent, expertise, and resources in Merced County to collaborate, network, and provide our youngest learners with the best early childhood education, laying the foundation for a central foundation upon which a child's future educational journey can rise. Our children are our greatest resource, and what we do today in preparing the problem solvers of our future. Together, we can make a difference. Thank you.
It's great to see that passion, Carrie. Thank you so much for those words. And we didn't warn her when she got the award last September that she was going to have to do this. So my apologies, kind of late, but thank you. So before we close today, I'd like to take the opportunity to thank staff. But before I thank staff, I want to thank two other people in the room that I had on my introduction list. And somehow, I have this problem. My wife will attest to. I'll look at something and not see it. I'll look at, the dishes on the table and not see them. And so I was looking at my list of names, and I failed to introduce two people that really are key to the topic today and us being here today. Dr. Lee Anderson, who brought the Early Childhood Education Division into being. And Dr. Steve Gomes, who created this event. So those folks really, those two people, pillars in our community, and I thank you for what you've done for children here in Merced County. So I'd like to take an opportunity to thank staff Nathan Cavedo, Yolanda Campos, Lori Ward, Stacy Arancibia, and the event staff at MCOE that helped put this together today. Community members Luis and Irene De La Cruz for their untiring effort to make sure that this was a success. I'd also like to thank our MeTV crew that does such a great job with our video, our on-camera talent from the college, and Lamar, and our All Parents, All Dads Matter program, the All Dads Matter program, and of course the parents of the children in our videos that were so kind to share their children with us today. I also want to say thank you to our sponsors of the event. You'll note on the cover we've got sponsors that do a great job of helping us put on the luncheon and pay for the venue. And once we've paid for those things, the rest of the income goes to the Merced County Education Foundation, which supplies funding for programs like Arts in the Schools. We have just awarded 4 grants for the Playhouse Merced to go out and put on plays in our various school districts in the county. That's the sort of thing that happens when you come to this luncheon every year, so we hope that you come back again next year when our topic will be focused on growth in Merced County around the school dashboards. Before you leave, I'd like you to take a moment to fill out the comment cards on the tables. If you haven't had a chance to do that yet, that information does help us plan for the future. And again, I want to thank you for coming out today and sharing the great work that Merced County educators do for this community. Thanks so much. Have a great afternoon.